What's good, YouTube? This your boy Will, the Indicator Trader, and I'm back. I'm on the wrong time frame with another video. Oh, I was on the H4 time frame, but yeah, y'all. This is the buy. I'm just doing a recap on the trade that I took. Showing you guys the the buy and play. The entry was right here. Smash. Y'all can see what's going on. I'm gonna tell y'all why the Willplay is so powerful, and I'm gonna speak about this trade and how I fixed it. You can see the market is going down. I'm actually waiting for a sell right now, though. I'm waiting for a sell, and I'm gonna explain to you why I'm waiting for the sell. On the H4, I'm waiting for the H4 to give me the go, which might take to probably till next week or maybe today. Who knows? US30 gonna keep falling. It's gonna keep falling. Um, and I'm gonna enter off a different way of the method, but I'm gonna explain it to you. So you can see the market fell, and none of the will plays turned blue until what? It was ready to go up. And did I not tell you guys the will play would not turn all colors until it was ready to go up? The will play would not turn all colors until it's ready to go down. Once you get a buy and play, once it turn all blue, you're in. Once you get a set and play, once it turn red, you're in. And let me explain. Now we're gonna go to this trade. Before I fix this, guys, you guys can see this candle was all blue, but that was before I updated it. I'm gonna speak about this trade. Goes back to what people keep saying, repaint. They like to use the word repaint to sound smart, but they don't understand the meaning of repaint. The meaning of repaint is momentum fighting. You have the sellers is fighting, the buyers are fighting. So just because it turns all blue and then it turns all red doesn't make the trade invalid. Okay, it does not make the trade invalid. I'm going to give you a good example. So before I updated, as you can see, it's all blue here, but it wasn't like that before I fixed it. This was the entry candle. It turned all blue here. I sent the signal out. We entered. We went in profit about 14 pips. Market shot down. We was in negative 215. I always told you price would always come back the moment we entered. Price came back, smashed TP. Now, it turned all blue here, and it turned back all red here. Momentum made it turn all red. That doesn't mean the trade is invalid. It doesn't mean the trade is invalid. So when you say the indicator repaints, yeah, it turns back the color, but when you enter on the rules, your stop loss will not be hit. That doesn't make the trade invalid because we entered here on all blue and it turned all red and it's going to keep falling. No. The method is made for when you enter. It doesn't matter. Your stop loss would never be hit. And I've always told you guys, I always say your stop loss would never be hit when you enter on the rules. That's why you have a stop loss. And as you can see, price came back. And let me tell you what perfection is. I perfect everything because I learned from all my trades. So what I did, I said that drawdown cannot happen anymore. I have to go back and fix it. And that's exactly what I did. Now, as you can see, it turned all blue here on the engulfing candle. So that just means I just fixed the problem. I perfected the problem. So next time we shouldn't suffer 200 and something. We shouldn't suffer 200 and some pip drawdown. I learned from that trade. I went back into the system. I fixed it. I sent out the update to everybody. Not that we lost. We didn't lose the trade. We didn't lose the trade. We won. But I just fixed it so that doesn't happen anymore. So that drawdown don't happen. We didn't lose the trade. We won the trade, but it was drawdown. Because one thing I have to tell you guys, my emotions is I don't care about drawdown. That's just my trading style. I can see this thing pull back 250 pips and won't care. I got 50 more pips to go. If you're taking me out, you're taking me out. Let's do it. Let's do this. But some people don't understand the trading style. This trading style will be popular. It's going to be popular because some people worry about risk management, risking less, going for more. You get more losses. You're going to get more losses eventually. And then you're going to need that big win to gain back your losses. That's cool. That's a nice way to trade. But I'm telling you, this trading style is one of the best. You're risking a lot at the right time to get that little bit. So people can risk a lot and have the wrong method and your stop loss will be hit all the time. Other than a will play, I explained the stop loss video when you purchase it because the stop loss is completely different. It's not a regular stop loss. It is way deeper than what I'm talking about. When you learn, you're going to see what I mean about the stop loss. I don't want to say the word because that's people will start peeping game. Okay, you learn that when you purchase it. You get that knowledge when you purchase it. But yeah, some people don't understand the trading style that I have will be popular. People will start peeping, risking more to go for less, a little bit, because that's what the game. That's what the game is. That's what I peeped. That's what I realized. Going back to, I'm like, wow, this thing always pull back this, but it always go back here. This thing always pull back here, but it always go here. My stop loss will be here, and I back test. Stop loss never was hit. That is how you get perfection. So with this right here, I noticed I knew I had to fix it. The moment we went draw down 200 some pips, I said I need to fix that. I need to make sure that doesn't happen again. So as you can see now, the next time that won't happen again. Once it turned all blue, you're gonna be with the right momentum. So you can see I perfected. I got it right. So that's a good example of repaint. Repaint means nothing when you enter on the rules. It can turn all red all it want. It's going back. That's the whole point of the method. That's the whole point. Now let me get into you guys what I'm waiting for. The daily turned all red. And I'm gonna give you guys a good example of I'm gonna show you this trade and I'm gonna show you this trade. So I go by with the closing. So since it closed here, right? Let me show you guys something. It closed here, right? We go to the H4. For me to enter this cell, exactly what I'm looking for, exactly what I'm waiting for. Let me show you guys. I need a lower high closing bearish to enter the trade. And I need all red meters. So as you can see, right? Price has to pull back. It did that already. That's confirmed. Price pulled back. It already did it. The lower high right here, the closing bearish candle, this will be entry. This is what I'm going to call for the next signal. This is going to be the next call. This is what I'm waiting on. This right here to catch this big move. This is exactly what I'm waiting on. So how are we going to trail this? We're going to trail this thing at 20 pips and let it ride. We're going to put our stop at 20 pips, maybe 10 pips, and let it ride. And let it ride. And try to catch this big move. So let me explain it again. Since the daily turned all red, looking at that on the closing, which will be right here, we go to the H4. We need that pullback. We already got the pullback. It always have to pull back. You see right here, it pulled back. Now we need a lower high closing bearish, all red, and we enter the trade. If I want a better entry, I would do it like this. If I want a better entry, which I don't care if I enter on the H4 because my stop loss won't be hit at all because I'm entering with the momentum. So let me give you guys a better understanding. If I want a better entry, I would do it like this. I will go to the H4, wait for that lower high closing bearish, which will be entry candle right here, which this will be the entry candle. Let me turn that color to green. So if I want a better entry, I will go, when that happens on the H4, when every rules is met on the H4, after patiently waiting for this, I will go, when it's time for entry, I will go to the H1 chart. I will go to the H1 chart, and I will wait for the same exact thing. As you can see here, lower high closing bearish. If I want a better entry, meaning more momentum, that's just double confirmation, I would enter. I will wait for the same rules, but on the H1. So this will be the lower high, closing bearish, and then we would enter here. So we would enter 3 hours later. But as you can see, stop loss would never be hit. And we just write it down. So I would trail it at, I would try to trail this thing as short as possible. Trail it at 10 pips. Trail it at probably 5 pips, because you have to have a tight stop loss to trail it, because price do pull back. So we might try to trail it at 5 pips max. So once it go 5 pip profit, we put our stop loss probably 3 pips at just close to breaking even. So you might put our stop loss break even like 228,110 just to catch this whole big move. That's what I'm waiting for now. So that's gonna be the next call, because as you can see, it's happening. It closed. You see me back testing it, showing you exactly the same thing. So for those who might be confused, sorry for my dog, guys. For those who might be confused, let me explain it to you again. It closed all red. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, we need a pullback. We got the pullback on the H4. We need a pullback. That's what happened. It pulled back. Now, as you can see, price is falling. That's exactly how it should be looking right now. So once it pulls back and it drops, we need a lower high like this one. Lower high closing bearish. Once we get that on the H4, if we want a better entry, we do the same for the H1. We do the same exact thing for the H1. The same exact thing. We don't have to wait. We get in, boom. We just need confirmation. That lower high closing bearish is just going to give us confirmation that the market is going to continue to fall. I know the market is going to continue to fall because it already fell. If you know US30, US30 always makes higher highs. If you know US30, it would have already passed this previous high. It would have made another one if it was going to continue to go down, up. It did it, so we're going to wait for the rules, all the rules to be met, and we're going to go for the big sell. We're going to go for the big sell. That's pretty much, it's so easy. It's simple to understand. So I'm going to break it down again for you guys. So you need it to close all red. Once it do that, it always pulls back. It always pulls back. That's why we took that buy, because that was the pullback candle. Because I knew it had to pull back, right? So we took that buy because I already know price has to pull back once it closed all red on the daily. I know that already. And that's exactly what it did. It pulled back like I expected to. So once it pulls back, once price pulls back, which it already did, we need a lower high, which is right here on the 4 hour, because if you trade in the daily, you got to go by the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, we need that lower high. We didn't get it here. We got it, but it didn't close bearish. Here's the lower high candle, meaning this high is lower than that candle, which is giving you a confirmation. And is giving, and I forgot the name of this candle. That candle. It's another confirmation. I forgot the name of this, but I know this is a bearish candle right here. This high is lower than that high closing bearish, so it meets the rules. This is rule 1. We can enter right here on the H4 if we want. If we want, which I'm pretty sure that's exactly what we might just do. If I want a better entry, I'll wait for the same rules on the H1. I'll have to wait for a lower high on the H1 closing bearish candle if I want a better entry. And as you can see, the green vertical line is the 4 hour entry. And as you can see, it gives me a lower high on the H1 closing bearish. Same rules apply. And this will be entry for the H1. That's all it is. It's so simple. And all will plays must be red when you enter the trade. It's that easy, guys. It's literally that. That's what I'm waiting on right now for that big sell. It's doing exactly what I know it's going to do. It has to pull back. Once it pulls back, and it did already a lower high on the daily closing bearish, so you already know it's game over. So it's game over. This market is about to drop hard because it did the lower high closing bearish on the daily. That's powerful. It did it already on the daily. It did it already on the daily. So pretty much, if I wanted to add spikes to it, I don't need to because my indicators would get me in anyway. If I wanted to add spikes to it and I wanted to add another confluence, once it breaks and retests this zone here, bye-bye. Especially on the daily. As you can see, it respected that zone. It went past the zone, which is this support right here. If I want to have extra confirmation that it will go down, I will patiently wait on the H4. I'm just showing you guys a lot of confluences. I'll patiently wait on the H4 for it to break this zone, retest on the H4, give me another lower high closing bearish, and I would enter the sell if I wanted more confirmation. But you can see this demand zone is valid because it's wicks right here. It didn't break it, but it's gonna break it now if you know US30, because as you can see here on the H4, that's a double top. But I'm waiting for my indicators to give me the go. But as you guys can see, that's nothing but bearish right there. That's nothing but bearish activity. That I'm just showing you guys. If I wanted to add that demand zone, I don't need it because my indicators will get me in the game anyway. It's going to automatically put me with momentum. But that's just extra confluence that I could do if I wanted to. But yeah, you guys can see what it is. I'm going to trade live. Let me get rid of this demand zone. I'm going to trade live for you guys while being on the chart, so you guys can see me take the trade live. and you guys can see that it's no games. Okay, so when I got to set up and play, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna show you guys the real deal. Let's eat.